Kelly's repair task was easy. One of the support bars in her closet organizer was out of joint, causing the apparatus to lean and her clothes to fall off the rack. While I was working, Hamill came over, joking about how badly my beloved Buffalo Bills had drafted. It was as though yesterday's fight hadn't happened. As much as he put me on edge, I felt strangely glad he was there. My relationship with Kelly remained an utter mystery, as befuddling to me as her alliance with Hamill, which meant Hamill and I had one thing in common. Also, it turned out that the closet organizer repair was a two-man job. I stood on a stool aligning the top bar while Hamill kept the bottom steady. I straightened my back too quickly and bumped my head against the closet ceiling, surprised that it didn't hurt. A strange thing happened. The ceiling gave way. What do you make of that? It was a false ceiling, no more than a loose panel painted white to blend seamlessly with the closet. Hamill cocked his head out from under the organizer. "Nice going, sport. You broke the ceiling." "I don't think so." I slid back the panel to infinite darkness. Stale air rolled down through the opening, and a low humming like a refrigerator motor followed somewhere in the shadows. Hamill was on his feet now, watching as I raised my hand into the unknown. I half expected a rat to bite me, or maybe my fingers would plunge into something soft and gelatinous. There was only the dark void. "What's up there?" he asked. "Can't tell. Does she have a flashlight?" "Let me check." He raced so quickly down the staircase that I worried he'd break his neck. A minute later, he came back with a flashlight and Kelly, who peered curiously at the opening. "Are you sure you didn't break anything?" she asked. "The landlord was nervous enough about renting to a student." "It's a false ceiling," I said, sliding the panel back into place. The ceiling appeared whole again. Kelly nodded, satisfied. I removed the panel completely, lowering it down to Hamill, who handed me the flashlight. "You aren't going up there, are you?" I took a deep breath. It was unnerving enough to extend my hand into the darkness, let alone enter head first. When I hadn't moved for several minutes, Hamill started to bark like a chicken. Seeing Kelly smirk, I bit my lower lip and pulled myself through the opening. I flicked on the light. An attic crawlspace extended past the end of the beam. Between ceiling joists, bulging bags spilled out pink insulation like a madman's cotton candy. The dusty, caustic air pulled the moisture from my lungs and turned my throat scratchy. "Well, what is it?" Hamill's voice. "It's a crawlspace." "Freaking awesome. See anything up there?" I can't tell. It extends farther than I can see." I heard Hamill climbing onto the stool. His fingers appeared over the ledge, and I made room for him to lift himself up. "Do you think that's smart?" Kelly asked. "The two of you up there, what if the ceiling collapses?" I tested the floor joists, between which more insulation bags were laid. "No way," I said. "The wood's dry and solid." Kelly's head popped through the opening, her eyes wide and searching. "How far does it go?" she asked. "Probably all the way to the last apartment. I can't see why it wouldn't." "Jerry?" Fear tinged her voice. "Yeah?" "That panel you removed, are there more?" I swept the light down the joist, trying to peer into the crypt's elongated depths. "Can't tell. Why?" "Well, doesn't that mean someone could crawl up out of their closet and come down into mine?" "Oh, shit." My heart skipped. "This must be a fluke. I bet the contractor forgot to nail your panel down. I can't imagine." Hamill crawled past me. "Give me that light, dipshit." "Hamill, I don't think—" "I gotta know." Hamill wrestled the light from my hand and disappeared. Though he'd only crawled a short distance, he'd already seemed far away. All that black made me strangely claustrophobic, as though the dark pressed down on us. "What should we do?" I jumped at Kelly's voice, not hearing her creep up beside me. Sounds fell off and died in the crawlspace, except for Hamill's bobbing light, through which dust motes danced and fell. I couldn't see a thing. "Follow him, I guess." "You're absolutely sure the ceiling can hold all three of us?" "For certain." "Then why do you look so scared?" I couldn't give her an answer. I didn't know why the attic disconcerted me. It was just wood and insulation, wasn't it? The shadows rent by Hamill's moving flashlight beam jounced along the beams, making things seem otherworldly and macabre. Dark images of planks broke off the ceiling and followed us, sometimes lurching violently off the walls. We crept toward the light, carefully running our knees along the joist to avoid the insulation. It felt like crawling down wooden train tracks. It wasn't long before my knees ached. The light flicked off. The crawlspace went black. All noise snuffed out, as though a coffin lid had closed over us. I reached out for Kelly, but couldn't find her. As crazy as it sounds, I started to worry I was alone up there. "Not funny, Hamill," I said, swallowing. God, my throat was dry, and it wasn't just the attic wicking moisture away. I heard nothing, not even the sound of Kelly breathing, just the depthless black. Then a laugh, low and wicked. My skin crawled with goosebumps. "Cut it out, Jay," Kelly said from somewhere behind me. "It's not funny anymore." Still nothing. What if someone else was inside the crawlspace with us? Kelly touched my back and sent a shock down my spine. "Is that you?" I whispered, feeling like a complete coward. I could feel her hand trembling. "Jay, I'm not messing around. Turn on the goddamn light." The light flicked on. Hamill's grinning face filled the beam. "Easy, Kelly. Just having a little fun. Don't do it again. Guess what I found in the dark?" He pointed at something on the floor. I looked back at Kelly, and she shook her head. "Come see." When we caught up to Hamill, he sat straddling a square piece of wood interrupting the attic floor. A trace of light welled up around the square. Hamill lit his face from below for effect. "Ready for the horror show?" "Just do it," Kelly said, rubbing a chill off her arms. I tried to convince myself that the panel was permanently affixed. I knew better. Hamill slipped his fingertips into the narrow grooves and lifted the panel. Ambient light fled through the opening. "Quiet," I whispered. Hamill started silently laughing, his body shaking so the flashlight danced across the insulation. "Shut it off." We stared down through the closet and into the neighbor woman's bedroom. I heard the television downstairs, then the sound of footsteps ascending the staircase. "Shit! Close it up! Close it up!" Hamill replaced the panel. For one horrible moment, we sat in complete darkness, listening to someone stomp across the floor beneath us. Kelly breathed against my neck. Hamill finally turned the flashlight on. "Did you see that?" His eyes were wild with excitement, the face of a child opening the coolest Christmas gift of all time. "Do you know what this means?" I knew what it meant, all right. We'd discovered a secret entrance into the neighbor's apartment. I didn't need to check the remaining apartments to know their panels were removable, too. My skin tingled. I could see the pretty neighbor any time I so desired. The idea incongruously horrified and aroused me with voyeuristic fantasies. "Let's check the others," he said, turning to crawl into the shadows. "Not now." I grabbed his arm, and the stare he shot me made me back away. "Let's head back. We should think this over, not push our luck." Hamill slowly nodded, his eyes never releasing mine. He refused to give me the flashlight. I had to lead the procession back toward Kelly's closet in darkness.